Well, here I am again at Vero Beach Airport, waiting for a delayed flight to come in to pick us up, to bring us back to HPN. Should have taken off at 4 o'clock. Looks like we'll take off till 7. But in the meantime, we have an issue going on with a plane that's on the ground here that seems to have some technical difficulties. It may be here since last night. I don't know, but they are working on it now.
It's my dad's turn today, and it's off to a rough start. There's a plane undergoing maintenance in one of 2 parking positions, and an irregular schedule with active flights is not helping. Back to Dad.
So now, to complicate matters even more, since we have an out-of-commission Breeze aircraft on the tarmac here, we have a flight arriving from Bradley International in about 30 minutes. And then after that will come in the Breeze flight from Providence. Doesn't seem to be enough room here to put both planes or 3 planes at once on this area. So let's see if they move these out of commission plane so we can get some room to put our flight on so we don't have to wait for another ramp accessibility and further delay our 4 o'clock departure, which is now 7 o'clock, and who knows, it may be 8 o'clock by this time. Let's hope not.
So 2 flights are inbound to Vero Beach, and they're both supposed to land right around 6 p.m. The plane coming from Providence is the one we're focused on, since that's the plane which will turn around in Vero and bring my dad to White Plains. But since there's only 1 parking space available, one of the 2 planes will get the gate, and the other one will just have to wait because the aircraft under maintenance isn't going anywhere. This means that one of the 2 arrivals will have to sit on the ground for an hour until the other arrival unloads its passengers, boards new ones, and leaves the gate.
They just announced that the flight from Bradley, which will land a few minutes before our flight, will have to wait, and that our plane will take the available gate since we've had already a 3-hour delay. So the Bradley plane will be delayed now, and hopefully we'll be on our delayed time schedule. There's no more room at the tarmac for another aircraft. This one is out of commission, as you can see. They're working on this one now. Our plane is about 20 minutes out. So hopefully the Bradley plane will have to wait a little bit longer than our plane. They'll give us priority over the Bradley plane to get out of here. So that's good news for us. We won't be delayed too long. The mechanics are working on the right engine of this aircraft right now, which had a mechanical issue yesterday.
Here's the arrival from Bradley that just landed. It's on time, but we'll have to sit in this remote area of the airport for 1 hour because the Providence plane, which is late, was assigned to the only remaining ramp position. It's good news for my dad, despite his already long delay, and it's really disappointing news for those on that arrival from Bradley. They thought they'd be on time, but they have to sit there for an hour. This plane will be going back to Bradley, and because of minimal space in the secure area, Bradley-bound passengers were told to wait outside of TSA so the Westchester-bound people, like my dad, can go first.
Okay, finally boarding this flight. It's been 3-hour delay so far. We're at the far side. The plane from Bradley that was supposed to land before us took a land route, and it's actually on the tarmac at the end of the runway because they're giving us precedence because we're 3 hours late. So they're very nice of Breeze to let the other plane wait. So it'll be late by about an hour. And here are the mechanics. Looks like they're doing a lot of work on this particular aircraft.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It was a nice walk.
Yeah, the walk is fine. I could have walked to White Plains too.
Hi, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Nice to see you again. Okay.
Well, sir. Got a wealth of information here. Even
Yeah.
more information than us.
Yeah, the other plane's at the end of the runway right now.
I'm just waiting on us to board.
Do you believe that?
I know.
Okay, we've already got aboard our Breeze flight to HPN. We are officially 3 hours late. Fortunately, this plane took precedence over a plane that was coming from Bradley, which is waiting at the end of the runway now to get the gate. Since there is one plane that's overnight here, it's been out of service due to a mechanical issue, we should be taking off. Looks like boarding is complete in a little while. 3 hours and counting.
Finally, after a very long delay, Moxie 914 is ready to request pushback clearance on the ground.
Air Beach Ground, Moxie 914 is ready for push. Moxie 914, push your discretion. Push our discretion, Moxie 914.
Personal alcohol brought on board the aircraft is prohibited. Federal regulations require guest compliance with all lighted information signs, posted placards, and crew member instructions. There are 6 exits on this aircraft, 2 exit doors at the front of the aircraft, 2 window exits over the wings, and 2 exit doors in the back of the aircraft. All exit doors are equipped with slides which can be detached and used as flotation aids. 4 additional rafts are located in overhead bins identified by a placard. Overwing exits have slides that can be used in a non-water landing. If there's a loss of electric power, floor level emergency lighting will guide you to the exits. All exits are clearly marked with a green running man symbol. Please take a moment to find the 2 exits nearest you and keep in mind that they might be behind you. Life vests are located in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. Remove the vest from the pouch by pulling on the red tab.
Now, way out on the distance is Moxie 528, that arrival from Bradley that's been waiting for an hour. Now that my dad's flight is pushed, the controller tells that plane that it can start work his way over here.
Moxie 528. Good. You could start taxiing on Charlie to your parking. Your other company has already done their pushback.
Roger, we can taxi to the gate via Charlie, Moxie 528.
Give your passengers a morale boost.
Really awesome, thanks.
Give your passengers a morale boost. They need that. Imagine being on time, then waiting an hour for a place to let everyone out at a small airport. The delay is not as long as my dad's delay, but he got to wait out most of it at the terminal and not on the plane. It's now time for his flight to call ground control for taxi clearance to the runway.
Ground Moxie 914, ready to taxi with Foxtrot. Moxie 914. Only once you're ready, taxi via Charlie, cross runway 4, the opposite direction. Cherokee's just turning into the ramp there. Please no factor for you. Once you're ready via Charlie, cross runway 4. Keep an eye out for the Cherokee, Moxie 914.
And now the taxi to the runway can begin. As the plane gets closer to the runway, the pilot is issued his initial altitude to climb to after takeoff, and then is told to contact the tower frequency.
Moxie 914. Moxie 914. We got you 5,000 for the initial altitude. We got your release. Contact tower 26-3. 5,000 for initial altitude. We'll push tower, Moxie 914. Tower, Moxie 914.
Moxie 914, Air Beach Tower. Runway 12 right, clear for takeoff, fighting 120 and climb maintain 5,000. Initial traffic to Sierra 5 mile final.
12 right, clear for takeoff. We'll fly heading 120, maintain 5,000, Moxie 914.
914, contact Palm Beach departure.
Contact departure, Moxie 914.
Take note of the traffic off the left that's climbing off the parallel runway, runway 12 left. It's now time to contact departure control.
Departure, Moxie 914, 1000 for 5000, heading 120.
914, Palm departure for the contact.
As we look at the Indian River, the pilot checked in, saying he's climbing to the altitude provided from the previous controller, 5,000 feet. This flight can be assigned either a land route or a water route, depending on the wind and weather conditions. Today it's a water route, which means for the first half of this flight, this plane will fly over the water and then join the land around North Carolina. So for now, the plane flies straight out over the ocean. This is the last bit of land that we'll see until later on. It's a nice view of the barrier island, which protects mainland Florida. This is the central beach area of Vero Beach. As we fly over the area, we await instructions from the controller to turn the plane to the left, which brings the flight closer to the en route direction of flight. Here comes the first turn.
Moxie 914, turn left heading 080.
Left turn heading 080, Moxie 914.
80 degrees brings the plane to the east. Of course, New York is to the northeast from the current position, so another turn will be issued to bring the plane to the northeast. It's a beautiful climb over the ocean, but it should have occurred 3 hours earlier. The flight conditions, however, are nice now. The pilot is now waiting for the next turn to the northeast. If he were to keep the 80-degree heading, he would just head straight out over the Atlantic Ocean toward Africa, but would never make it to Africa because there's not enough fuel. So the controller will turn the plane to the northeast. The controller is just waiting for the right moment. Check out that small VFR plane down there over the ocean. There are a lot of these small planes around Vero Beach. Okay, the time has come for the turn to the northeast and a handoff to the Miami Air Route Traffic Control Center.
Moxie 914, fly heading 060, contact Miami Center 132.25.
Heading 060, 13225, Moxie 914.
That's it for ATC for the departure phase of flight for this video, but Miami Center will issue more left turns and clearance to proceed on course to the northeast. Well, that was a nice departure as seen from the nicer cabin of this Breeze A220. Before moving forward, it's time for a message from the sponsor of today's video. With all the traveling I do, I find myself just sitting for hours on an airplane, and I need a way to make up for that, so I use my Yesol G1M Plus for a regular cardio workout. A breeze to put together, and at a great price point, this is the best stationary bike I've ever had. With so much time spent sitting, this is a great fit for my lifestyle, and using it doesn't take me away from what I need to do. It's all about fun cardio, as this bike features wired multimedia casting, making a typical cardio workout transformed into something enjoyable. I mean, who doesn't enjoy watching Peter Masella's YouTube channel while working out? I know I certainly watch my channel all the time, even when I'm not working out, because the screen rotates 360 degrees, so I can watch the screen when not sitting on the bike. I love having an additional screen in my home in a place where I normally would not have one. What a great feature! Working out and enjoyment go hand in hand with Yesol. As a traveler, I love this feature, which allows me to feel like I'm biking abroad. And when I want to take things very seriously, I just tune into instructor-led courses. I always leave it to the pros to tell me what to do. I'm an expert as an airline passenger, but I'm not an expert trainer. And statistics are always available to me. These are some fantastic metrics that provide me with the right information at the right time. And I'm not the only one who uses Yesol.
Hey, this is Peter Sr. here. I'm using Yesol on a regular basis, and let me tell you, it's working wonders for me as well.
That's right, my dad loves using this product. After all, he also sits on airplanes a lot and needs the cardio workout. I've caught him using my Yesol bike on multiple occasions. He's especially fond of the 4-speaker system and 2 subwoofers for exceptional sound quality. As a viewer of this channel, you can take advantage of my discount code in the description below. It's exceptionally affordable. Imagine watching Netflix or the news or airplane videos while biking or at any angle. What a deal this is.
That's right, you heard it. You can get a great discount with my code.
You just gotta do it. But for now, let's return to today's video. Well, this is a delayed flight, and while most people are likely upset about getting home late, my dad has a different reason to be upset. I would feel the same feeling as him. You see, now that we're in daylight savings time, the idea was to see the arrival and approach during daylight conditions. Yes, there would have been light the entire flight. Far too many times he and I have flown on the Buono arrival to Westchester during dark conditions, and he was really looking forward to getting some light. Well, where he is now, he should have been 3 hours earlier. So, as usual, to spot JFK flights, he'll have to rely on the lights of airplanes to identify them. This wasn't the plan. As usual, it's tough to film out when the flight attendants have the interior cabin lights on, which is another reason to long for a day approach, but it is what it is. The plan, as usual, is to overfly Long Island east of JFK and spot arrivals from up here at 17,000 feet. Today, JFK is landing on runway 13 left and 22 left and departing on runway 13 right. The configuration is perfect for viewing both arrivals and departures to and from JFK. There's JFK right there, and right away we see a Delta A321neo climbing out over the Atlantic from JFK to St. Thomas in the Caribbean. It's being kept at a lower altitude until clear of arrivals to HPN. Now, up there is a Delta 767-400 from San Diego to JFK. It just flew the Lindy arrival from the west, keeping it high over LaGuardia, and is now around 10,000 feet. It's going to land on runway 22 left, and since there's no one in front of him, the controller will have this plane make a 360 turn to the left over Nassau County to line up with runway 22 left, staying west of us at all times. Down there is a British Airways 777 from JFK to London Heathrow. It will head east around the south shore of Long Island before starting its trip across the pond to Europe. Here, that British Airways flight is further out, and if you look really carefully, you can see that Delta flight from San Diego remaining over the land, being vectored via left turns to swing around to runway 22 left in a rare move by New York Approach Control. It's really nice out here, and the view of Nassau County with New York City in the distance is great. It could have been better if the cabin lights were off, and of course, expectations were not met because it's dark out, and it was not supposed to be dark for this part of the flight. There's always next time. A few miles down, the arrival calls for a right turn to allow for more time to get down lower so this plane can get to Westchester. It's a right turn, then a left turn back to the west for runway 16 tonight. This flight has just completed its U-turn, and it's time to check in with New York Approach Control.
New York, Moxie 914, 6,000, descending 4,000, direct primes.
Moxie 914, New York, Roger, heading 320, descend at 3,000.
Heading 320, descend, maintain 3,000, Moxie 914.
Finally, an approach to a runway other than runway 34. It's been a while. While the approach for runway 34 generally calls for the arrival from the Buono arrival to fly west over the Sound, runway 16 arrivals fly into Connecticut, and that's what we're looking at down there. Along the Connecticut shoreline, we see Norwalk, Connecticut on this 320-degree heading assigned by Approach Control. We can also see Interstate 95, which runs parallel to the shore and links to the next city in Connecticut, Stamford. This flight will continue along the eastern edge of the Connecticut Panhandle, and just past Wilton, it will be assigned a left turn to make a left base to runway 16. Let's move forward to that point.
Moxie 914, turn left heading 270.
Left turn heading 270, Moxie 914.
This is the left base to runway 16, and as soon as the turn is complete, the plane is officially once again in New York State, this time in Westchester County and close to landing. If it were daytime, like it was supposed to be at this point, we'd be looking down on many homes down there, but it's late, and the view is mostly of lights. Let's move forward to the next command.
Moxie 914, descend to maintain 2,000, the airport's 10 o'clock and 10 miles.
So maintain 2,000, we're looking at Moxie 914.
10 o'clock and 10 miles. That means that we, too, should eventually have the airport in sight from this side of the airplane. The pilot is looking out the window to see the airport, and once reported in sight, he'll be cleared for a visual approach. This will be a close-in turn, as there is no other traffic approaching the Westchester County Airport at this time. The pilot now has the field in sight.
Has the airport in sight.
914, cleared visual approach, runway 16, contact tower 1857.
Clear visual 16, contact tower, Moxie 914.
Moxie 914 is clear for the visual approach. The turn to the runway will be nearly a right angle. Once on the extended center line, the pilot simply turns the plane towards the runway and flies straight in. It's now time to check in with the tower.
Westchester Tower, Moxie 914 on the visual 16.
Moxie 914, Westchester Tower, wind 180 at 3, runway 16, clear to land.
16 clear to land, Moxie 914.
Moxie 914 is clear to land on runway 16, 3 hours late. Let's look out for the runway. There it is. It's just a left turn to the runway to land. What a day it was for my dad. He believes that the delay was caused by a crew issue as the plane was late from its previous flight from Providence. Delays are a reality we must all face these days. Even with clear weather and on-time expectations, you really just don't know what's going to happen. Now, for the Masellas, the biggest issue was the fact that a day flight turned into a night flight, and that was not desired, but it is what it is. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. I, of course, will be back again with many more videos featuring me and my dad, so if you have not done so already, make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss out on what's next. See you all soon.
Your brakes work good, don't they?
Moxie 914, turn left at the end, contact ground.
Left at the end, contact ground, Moxie 914.